and welcome back to the Money Classroom. We have a special treat today. We're going to talk about business, your very own small business, and how to make your business bankable. Some things we have to pay attention to there. I am joined by Eric Schreiman, Fifth Third Bank Commercial Banking Relationship Manager. Hello to you.
Hello to you. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to be here. So we have a relationship with our bank. You know, we keep talking about it like it's some novel idea. Tell us more about how that works.
Well, I think it's extremely important for a small business owner to have a relationship with their banker. Mm-hmm. A banker is a consultant, if you will, and the more that banker understands the facets of a small business owner's day-to-day operations, the more of an advocate and asset they can be to that business owner. So having that relationship is absolutely crucial.
Oh, really? So tell me how I might embark upon that relationship. You said your banker. That's kind of exciting to say, my banker told me or consulted in such a way. How do we initiate that, and what are the first steps?
Well, if you don't currently have a banker, I would recommend reaching out and, taking that initiative to introduce yourself to some local bankers. And I think it's important to, if you will, vet some bankers, interview some bankers and see if those bankers or that banker is the right person for you. So
this is different from I have a business banking account.
Right. That's right.
We're talking, I'm looking for this relationship.
That's right. There's a lot of banks out there. Mm-hmm. And, we all do the same thing. We have checking account savings, we make loans, but really it's the people in the chairs. It's the consultant. It's the advocate. It's the banker that understands your business and can help you throughout your business needs, whether it be financial or operational.
Right? Does it matter how big or small my business is?
No. I would recommend no matter what size the business is, there is someone in Fifth Third or in your bank that has the knowledge and understanding to help you throughout your business challenges.
Okay, so how close is this relationship? Do I tell them everything I'm trying to do? I don't get a couch session, do I?
Well, it's really important. A lot of times people look at bankers just for financial needs, a loan here or a checking account there. But for a banker to really be an asset or a consultant, they have to fully understand not only your financial operations, but your business operations. What makes your business tick? How do you make money? What's the management structure? What is your short-term plan, your long-term plan? So really have an understanding of start to finish, not only the financial, but the business operations. So, having those discussions with your banker, and your banker should be asking those questions as well, is extremely important.
Well, sure. It makes it sound even more important that relationship be sound if we're going to be that intimate, so to speak.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are the first things we need to do, and how do we find the right banker?
Well, it depends on where you're at in your business. If you're a startup business, obviously, being sure that you have a strong, sound business plan in place. Going to your local bank and having a discussion and finding that right resource in that bank to sit down and help coach you through that process. How does your business plan look? Is it thorough? Have you covered all facets of the planning process? There are also a number of resources on the internet, SBA.gov. The SBA provides some great guidance as far as how to put a business plan together and in place. If you're a little more of a mature business, maybe a business plan is important, but maybe you're beyond that process or that step.
Ready for growth.
Ready for growth.
Yeah.
Ready for growth. Maybe it's time to build the building or increase a line of credit to buy some more inventory. And again, it's the same process. Make sure that you've vetted your bankers and you've got somebody that's going to be a resource, an asset, and an ally for you.
And so as we vet, what would you say are key things we want to ask?
Who are some of the clients the banker works with?
Okay.
If you're a manufacturer, I would recommend you find a banker that's well versed and understands manufacturing. If you're retail, same thing. You want to find somebody that in essence is an expert in that field that can help guide you throughout your business needs.
And there at Fifth Third, you create these relationships too. Now, do you have a say, and are you able to choose who you would work with as a client?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It has to be a good fit, both for the client and the banker.
For the banker.
I think it's very important. I think it's important for a client to be candid, as is the banker.
Right.
And if you know it's not going to be a good fit, then you need to be honest and upfront. And maybe it's your colleague. Maybe your colleague's the right fit for this individual. Maybe your colleague is an expert in this field, and you want to get that right person involved early in the process.
So it's important for our businesses to be bankable. And so you mentioned business plan. Is that pretty much the first step?
It really is. In a business plan, depending on where you're at in the stage of your business, is extremely important. Obviously, if you're beginning that process, a business plan is crucial, and it's crucial for two parts. One, it's a roadmap for the business owner.
That's right.
Where are you today? Where do you want to go? Do you understand the environment, the economy, your competition, your customers, your marketing?
Wow.
Where are you? You want to make sure you have a full understanding of what you're getting yourself into and how you're going to make money.
So then if it's a new business, how would they know these are the things that they should ask or the detail that they need?
Your banker is going to know.
Well, there we go.
Your banker is, and again, there are a number of websites available that can really help guide a potential business owner to create a strong business plan.
All right. So to say we're in the growth stage, what sources of capital are typically used to help fund a business venture?
Sure. Well, there's two sources. I mean, obviously, there's the bank funding piece, right? And we're going to, provide some financing for you. But also equally important is what bankers call skin in the game. Really, I mean, if we're going to lend somebody some money, we want to know that individual it also has a capital contribution that they're going to put into that venture as well, which we do call, we call it the skin.
You got to have some
want
skin. You got to be able to feel it, yeah.
And that's why it's also important for a small business owner, if they really are planning to start their own business in the future, make sure that they are saving, because there will be some upfront costs. They will have to, utilize some of their capital or equity to help kick off that business.
Wow, very good. Okay, so business, irrespective of size, one contract or one vendor, we're all at risk.
Right.
Explain how we're all at risk, especially if we've got some skin in the game.
Sure. Well, if you
we
have,
want to be aware.
If you think about your customers, if you have one major customer, what's going to happen to your business if that customer, either A, goes out of business or decides to save a couple cents and go to a competitor? How might that impact your business? So diversifying your customer base is extremely important. And it's on the same, the same goes for your vendors. What happens if a vendor goes out of business? Do you have a backup plan?
Right.
What are you going to do? What if that vendor decides to increase costs by 50%? How would that impact your business and your bottom line? So, what's your backup plan? What's your contingency plan in the event that you lose a big customer or you lose a vendor? What are you going to do?
See, and these are broad things that we need to think about, and that's what you would do as a relationship manager,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So then we're focused on our business, and we're doing our best to provide our product or service, and we need to understand that there's much more to it. What are some of the other things we should consider? That was a very good example.
It's do you have a plan in place? Period. What is your what is your short-term forecast, your long-term forecast? Where do you want to see yourself in 2 years? Where do you want to see yourself in 3 years?
Wow.
Are you towards the end of business? Did you start thinking about do you want to get out? How are you going to exit? What's your exit plan? So always thinking 1, 2, 3 steps ahead will help a business, overcome potential trials and tribulations. They've already planned for those things.
Right. And if they have a great business plan and contracts, but they have poor credit or have even dealt with a bankruptcy, how would you advise a business to?
Credit is crucial. I mean, credit is extremely important, but if you do have a hiccup or you do have something on your credit, the first thing is, you know what your credit score is. I mean, have you pulled your credit? Is there something out there that maybe is incorrect? And if so, dispute that and get that cleaned up. If it's a bankruptcy, it's just going to take time. It's going to take time to reestablish that credit. But even if you do file bankruptcy, make sure that when you do have the ability to reestablish that credit, you do so, and you do so wisely.
Sure.
Just because you had a blimp or an issue in the past doesn't mean there won't be future opportunities for you.
That's very encouraging, and I think folks need to understand that. I'm sure we've all dealt with or
Sure.
faced some challenges along the way. Well, give me a real life example of a business, and you don't have to give any names, of the best loan and opportunity that you all ever made or had.
Sure. Well, gosh, there's been a number of them. I would
That's
say,
good
one that does stick out though. It was an American manufacturer.
Okay.
Which manufacturers today are struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
So anything that we can do to help them, and he just so happened he had lost a vendor. He would outsource a portion of his manufacturing to this specific vendor to help in the finishing process, and this vendor couldn't. Didn't survive, and they went out of business. So this manufacturer was stuck. He was looking for other vendors, but this particular vendor was a niche business, and we were able to help provide some financing for him to actually buy some equipment and to bring that process
Well,
in-house.
how about that?
In-house. So
How
not
about
only was
that?
he able to sustain, he was actually able to save a little bit of money
Right.
by not having to outsource that piece of the manufacturing. So, it was a feel-good story. It really helped him in his business, and he's doing great today. And it's nice to see that we were part of that.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, give some encouragement and maybe even an invitation for our businesses, our small businesses that are listening or watching today to embark upon their relationship and get that going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's never too soon
Okay.
to begin that relationship. So if you're a small business banker, or if you're a small business owner, and you have your bank, but you just go in, you make your deposits, maybe you have a good relationship with a teller.
Right.
That's great. That's great. But the time is now to really develop that relationship with that expert, whether it be the branch manager in that location or the business banker or the relationship manager. The earlier, the better. Bankers can be a resource for you, and start that relationship now, as it will pay dividends in the future.
That is excellent. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Eric has really made the classroom sing today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
For more information regarding our discussion today, you can contact the Fifth Third Bank Financial Empowerment Hotline.
And if you'd like us to cover a topic on this program, you could share that as well. Many times, your question could bring forth an answer that helps all of us.